Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Rules Horror. Story 1. Guide to Survive the Wicked Rapture. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Hello my friend, if you are reading this then it means you were a unfortunate soul who was chosen. Once every year at least one living being is chosen to be sent down in the rapture as a way to relieve humanity of their sins. I will do my hardest to make sure you live. Once you wake you should look around your area, depending where it is has different creatures lurking about. 1a If it were you called home then you are fine as this is the safest place to be, there will be few beings lurking in your vicinity. 1b If at your workplace, whether last or current, find a room with few entrances, like the office of your workplace manager, or if need be a closet. 1c If it's what you remember as your school, leave the hallway immediately and go into any classroom. The hall is the deadliest place there. 2 Now try and block any and all entrances, mostly cover windows, just cover any window you see with the best of your human abilities. If failed move to Rule 2a and 2b. 2a Hide, do not move near any windows with a light, it is a angler wolf, these beasts cannot see too well without the light and only attack if they know there is a living being there. 2b If the angler wolf gets in attack the light, it might give you a chance you kill it or run. 3 After some time you might find a coin, it will appear in either a pocket or a shelf and will also have a glowing rune. Keep it and protect it at all costs, it will be your one way out of here. If lost move to 3b. 3a If you find a coin on a corpse of another chosen sacrifice like you, check their body, the coin will have a red glowing rune. 3b You cannot leave, I'm sorry, you will now be here until your horrid demise. 4 If you hear any type of sound by a door, make sure to listen what happens next. The next rules will explain what creature is outside. 4a If hearing a loved one, that is a copycat, it is a 6 feet tall cat-like monster with multiple eyes. It gets bored easily so it will not be a problem. 4b If you hear an animal like a dog, cat, or even a bird, you may take it in your room. Looking around it you should find a holy marking which is glowing. They will be your only company and will help bring you food and water if need be. 4c If you hear knocking, open the door. It should be a man which looks like a loved one but much more pale. If they say hello then you may strike a conversation with them, but if they ever ask to be let in, say no. The vampires will respect what you wish. 5 If you have a clock in your room, check if it is 3 a.m. If so you may leave your room and scavenge for food, water, or if you wish a coin of another sacrifice. The creatures come back once it is 4 a.m. hopefully, if not move to Rule 5b. 5a If you have no clock then do not worry, grab a object and make a small wound in your hand, then use the blood to write a pentagram on your hand. It will start glowing once 3 a.m. 5b. If it is 3:60 am then the blood moon has arisen, the monsters are much more frequent. They're faster, stronger, and have a lot less patience, they're a large threat if still in an open area. 6 If you hear rumbling, very similar to an earthquake then it is time. The coin will start glowing, it will glow brighter and brighter if closer to the exit. The creatures will leave you alone for now, all you need to do is move outside, you will see an ocean, and I will be waiting for you. 6a If you have your coin give it to me, you may get on my boat and I will bring you out of this realm. You will wake and your life will be the same, as you earned it. 6b If you saved the coins of others then they will be given mercy, their souls will be ascended to the holy land above. That is all my friend, I will try and get to you as fast as I can but you will need to hold out, may your soul rest in peace. Story 2. Camp Kindred, a place for the troubled youth. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Please place this DVD the right way up to avoid glitches. Tape begins illuminating the porcelain white walls, my gaze is met with that of a small girl with black hair and green eyes gleefully staring into the camera with bubbly music in the background. Greetings, I'm Sally, head counselor of Camp Kindred. You may be a little disorientated as your parents promised something totally different. Fret not, it's just policy, so you do not try and leave. The DVD player buzzes and freezes for a second, distorting the girl's face for a second and flickering to black and resuming. This is for your own good. You are here because your parents decided that you are in need of help, which may be impossible through regular means such as therapy. The camera pauses on Sally's face for an awkward amount of time. I could have sworn I saw a tear rolling out before it cut to an overview of the camp. A male voice begins to narrate. What you are seeing here is the overview of the camp where you will be staying. The camera view begins to shudder slightly as if someone was struggling to keep it straight. You will be able to access our facilities at times staff allow. The main building is composed of 3 sections. The right section is composed of the dorms which you will be staying in. Make yourself at home. The left being the tape stuttering, breakout area for a recreational actives. The map shown on the table almost appears to melt before the video cuts back to Sally in a dim cafeteria. She begins to narrate. This is the cafeteria where you will be fed well. She pauses for about 5 seconds, almost staring at something beyond the camera. The music pauses briefly, before the tape cuts to a grid background with Sally standing to the left in a strange-looking jumper that looks like a dog chewed on it. Male voice, a bit deeper than before. Well, Sally, I believe we can leave the rest of the camp themselves. More importantly, you must inform them of our rules here. Sally in a shaky voice. Why, of course, Duke. Listen carefully now all. Rule 1. No leaving the camp under any circumstances without notifying our staff. They will be everywhere, so don't worry about having trouble finding them. Rule 2. Be sure to greet all staff members with respect. They needed to keep them happy. You don't want to see what happened when that didn't happen last November. Rule 3. Depending on the severity of your condition, you will be assigned a wristband, each allowing more free access than others. There are green wristbands allowing free access to most of the site, orange wristbands allowing mostly the same as green, only you must be accompanied by staff at all times, red restrictive access to most parts and constant staff supervision, and then per dot. An abrupt fade to black, then the camera zooms in on Sally's wrist where a purple band can be seen in what seems to on a wooden floor. Heavy breathing of a young child which nearly breaks into a scream can be heard before the camera cuts back to the grid background where Sally is now facing away from the camera. Rule 4. Curfew is strictly 9:30 p.m. and lights out is 10:30 p.m. Anyone who disobeys will have to answer to Duke privately in his office and apologize. The music then gets ear-piercingly loud before the screen's saturation seems to peak before cutting to an image of a singular purple door. The male voice named Duke returns, now joyful. Rule 5. Make sure to look out for fellow campers. You are a giggle team here, and it's important to look after each other. Rule 6. Only wash your hands 2 feet away from the sink and be sure that a handle door is nearby, slightly ajar. Rule 7. If you are out and one of the wild animals approaches you while you are having fun on our forest trail and begins talking in a language that you shouldn't understand yet somehow do, deny their requests of self-harm and suicide by eating them on the spot. Rule 8. The East Hall is of limits to all male campers. Remy can smell testosterone. Rule 9. You must be awake by 6:43. You cannot use an alarm clue. The high-pitched screaming cut off to a cabin room where Sally is seen looking down with the caption in cartoon text saying she found them. With a cartoon smiley face next to her, she looks up and her face begins to melt into a bloody mess, crying black goop. She simply says 4 words. Rule 10. Don't open the door. A large black furry arm reaches around her waist. Her crying stops and a face of pure terror pulls over her face. The music stops. Duke speaks. We hope we can fix you here, and remember, don't go near the chomp. That's what we call this door. Camera pans around to the opposite side of the purple door. We call it that because this is where I ate Sally. A final horrific image of a beast with dark green skin and crimson bloodshot eyes with an ear-to-ear grin is seen gleaming into the camera before the DVD player shot out the disc like how a shredder tears paper. I had to find an escape. Story 3. Instructions to survive Slit Herman. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. You are prone to a Slit Herman attack at any moment at any time. Even if you are taking a dookie, take these rules into consideration. A disclaimer before I get started, Slit Herman lives in Rochester, NYK, so anyone outside of Rochester is safe from Slit Herman. Ignore any rules that appear written by Slit Herman. Always stay strapped. Even in the shower, carry a .357 Magnum on top of the shower head just in case. Feed your dog crack till it die. Stay away from windows. Slit Herman can crawl through them then stab you. If you hear what seems to be Michael Myers' theme, get ready for Slit Herman to attack. 5. I hate when Slit Herman take control of my thoughts. Look at this machete I just bought. 6 people in the house, they all dyin', I put gasoline in the air fryer. 6. Slit Herman can take control of your body and thoughts, so if you hear Slit Herman's theme, get somewhere safe and lock the door so you don't harm anyone except for Slit Herman. 420 At the party tonight, lace the blunt and pass it to everybody. 8. I hate Freddy Krueger, he's a rapist. Push yo grandpa out a wheelchair. Slap the fuck out yo grandma. 9. Be cautious, for Slit Herman can control your thoughts and make you make bad decisions that usually end up in someone getting harmed. 10. Slit Herman take control of your body, make you eat more Molly. 11. Stay safe by following these rules. Oh shit, Slit Herman's here, fuck, I'm gonna die. Story 4. Rules of the Oasis. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. A new arrival, well that's rare. Human too, but you lack the telltale signs of a herald. You know the dead eyes, the lack of expression, and the writer's bump. I would know the signs well, I was the 12th. Well, whoever you are or well were, welcome to the Oasis, life after death for us. The little patch of something in the barren wasteland between dimensions. As with any place, there are rules here and I'll be sure to explain them. Doesn't suit me to deal with another husk. Always be present for when the siren sings. She'll sing of lives lost, of fortunes won, and of things forgotten. It'll keep you from forgetting, and in this place memory is all that matters. 1a. That being said, missing 1 or 2 songs won't ruin you, you'll lose things sure, but you'll manage. 1b. If you're dim enough to not hear her song for a week, actually it's a bit hard to keep time here, count your heartbeats, should be about 604,000 beats to a week if you maintain 60 BPM. Got sidetracked there, back to the point, if you don't listen to her for a week you'll have forgotten everything. I'll explain why that's terrible later. 2. A respectful demeanor when interacting with the siren is advised. She does not have to let you hear her song and does so out of kindness. Unless you fancy slowly turning into an empty shell only ever to see the light when you are used as a tool in a game, I recommend your best behavior. 3. The only time this place will see darkness is when the siren sleeps. I recommend taking a seat and ignoring the laughter. Not everyone here is sane, the shells of who they once were will become active at this time. 3a. Another thing to consider, and do remember everything I say is optional if you don't value your mind, is not to speak while she sleeps. The reason for this is twofold: 1. You may wake her and that would be rude. 2. The husks will be drawn towards the sound of your voice. The twisted things they do would drive the sanest man mad, witnessing it has taken enough of a toll on my mind. If you must know what it is they do, imagine having your flesh torn in such a way a maddened smile is etched into your face, having your eyelids ripped away so you may never rest, and your bones snapped. 4. When the siren wakes she'll stretch and let out a yawn, cover your ears or the sound will pop your eardrums. I imagine it's hard to hear a song when you cannot hear. 5. The final rule, and this is important, is never speak ill of death. She is their sister and despite her kindness she will not hesitate to torment you. The songs she'll sing will become sinister, twisted, and dark. They'll remind you of things sure, but you'll only relive your worst moments. That's pretty much it. All things considered, it's not so bad here. I mean, you'll meet every herald that ever was and ever will be, and any god that manages to die. You'll just have to answer some questions for yourself, things that will play on your mind. Do I count as human? Is this purgatory? Was I as bad as they say? Do I deserve this? They'll come, You wouldn't be here if they wouldn't. I figured out my answers long ago and I know what this place is now, would you like to know? My answers are simple. I cannot be counted as human after the things I did in a way. Yes, I was so much worse than they say and I deserve worse. You see, this place serves as the dead lands do. We serve as tools in future games while this place serves to break us down, our only salvation in the songs sung. The main difference is this place requires a certain monstrous nature to get into, a disregard for the life of others, be that entity or human. Seems the light is dimming, remember not to speak. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.